Hi, I'm Omar Apollo, and we're behind the scenes at my Attitude magazine cover shoot. I think my lyrics get mistaken a lot. People tend to, create their own meaning with. I think it is actually beautiful. It's cool because there's a lot of songs for me that have a very specific, to me, story behind them, narrative behind them. But I like it being interpreted in the way that it does. But it doesn't bother me or anything. I think it's cool. I think people take art, and take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So, what's easier for me to talk about? Probably whatever I'm feeling subconsciously, which is usually love. Any part of it, like the infatuation part, the longing, yearning part, the heartbreak part. Just depends on what's going on. Then I choose to kind of write from there. It'll be like a few words that come out, then I just keep going. If the melody feels like it's sad or if it feels like it's happy, then I'll write accordingly, But most of the times, I usually find like a really happy melody, then make like a really sad song. I like the polarity, I like the contradiction. I think it's cool that like this song that makes people dance is actually about something really severe. But yeah. It depends. Sometimes my music persona is me. Sometimes I'm in another, I think when I was making God Said No, it was pretty accurate for that year, like 2023. That's kind of how I felt the whole year. If you spoke to me for more than 5 minutes, you would be like, oh, this is this person who wrote it. But now, I don't know, it fluctuates. My emotions fluctuate. I feel all of the emotions, I think, really intensely. But yeah, I mean, like the God Said No is definitely on the more intense side of emotions. But I would say right now I'm pretty light. I'm not even like thinking about anything intense or sad. If anything, I'm just really excited and inspired. I can feel my feet and fly.
I like that one.
You talking about River?
Yeah.
You know that song?
Yeah.
The song River, where Joni talks about having, I don't know the exact lyrics, so I'm not going to say it, but basically the idea is that she wishes she could have wings and I would teach my feet to fly. Yeah. I would teach my feet to fly, and she flies over the river, which I thought is beautiful imagery and also just very gentle. I think working at Guitar Center, the most I got from it, besides like some really cool coworkers, was definitely the players coming in and me being able to learn different styles of playing from different customers, especially on Sunday. Everyone would come after church and start jamming for like 4 hours, and then I would just sit around or ask or start jamming with them, and they would show me stuff, and then I'd show them stuff. It was just an exchange of information and styles and upbringing and things like that. I think, well, there was a few songs that started kind of like a year before I started the process of making God Said No, like While You Can and Done With You. But I think the one that really started the feel and the essence of the album would be Glow. The album was going to be called Glow. That was going to be the first track, but I ended up putting it last because I thought it tied together the whole narrative nicely, and yeah, I thought it was a beautiful way to end the album. I think the most personal song is probably Glow or Plane Trees or Drifting. But if we're going to say Glow, I would say probably it's a collaboration of like infatuation kind of melting into love. It describes it in a really beautiful way, and it's also really heartbreaking because I don't think anything lasts forever, so I kind of touched on that subject while speaking on something that feels like is forever. That makes sense. The song explains it better than I just did, but yeah. Which came the easiest? Maybe While You Can. I did that song really quick one day. I had all this like Portishead references. I really wanted to use like a synthesizer build. I wanted a song that builded and turned into something grand. And the hardest, maybe because of the tones, Less of You might have been the hardest. It was really easy for me to record, but the production, we went with like analog. We started with digital, then we went analog, had to find the right synth. It's like this synth called the Synthy. It's like an $18,000 synth. And we had to go to this place to use it. This guy had it. And we had that version for a while, and then everyone loved that version, and I was like, I kind of like the digital more. So yeah, I think that song took the most time, if I'm being honest with you. It just shouldn't have. When I started, it's way more exciting. It's exciting to have a project. It's exciting to see things come into fruition, especially when you're working. The process is the celebration. Now that it's out, it's kind of, I'm on to the next. I've already detached everything, and I'm ready to tour it. I'm ready to, share with the world in that way, in that capacity, and what I have planned, I'm really excited for. But in terms of the release, I think I did let go of my attachments a while ago. But I'm glad everyone's enjoying it, and I like the response. That makes me happy. If I'm giving a truthful answer, it's like next thing. I'm on the next, because I love making music. I always will.